In today's video, we're going to look at the offset function. Offset function is used sparingly within spreadsheets because it's known as a volatile function, and if used too much, it can create unexpected or efficiency errors on your spreadsheet. But used efficiently here and there, it can be an extremely useful function. The offset function can return the value or values from other cell or cells. In addition, it can also reference itself, which in itself can be useful for getting around circular cell references, for example. The offset function takes in 5 parameters: the cell reference, where it starts from, the number of rows down or up, the number of columns right or left, and the height or the width of the array to be returned. So let's have a look at some specific examples. In this sheet here, I've created a table of numbers. So it's an array 5 by 5. So creating 25 different entries. And in this table below, I've set up 6 examples of using the offset function. So the first function we have here is the offset. So it's starting from cell A1. So it's referencing this cell. The second parameter is the row reference, so the number of rows to move off this cell. So it's 0, so it's not moving anywhere down or up from this cell. The third parameter is the column parameter, so it's 0 as well, so that means don't move anywhere to the right or to the left of this cell. And 1 and 1 is the height or width of the array. Now these, in this case, these are optional. You could leave these blank, and what I mean by that is I can get rid of these without affecting the result. So I could leave the formula like this, so I'm just going to press return, and it returns 1. And what that means is it's just returning this value here. So it's saying don't move any rows down or up from this cell, and don't move any columns right or left from this cell, so just stay in this cell. So that's why it returns 1. In example 2, we've got offset again, A1, 1, 2, 1, 1. So this is starting from cell A1, and it's saying, okay, move 1 row down, so it's to here, and moving 2 rows across, so it's 1, 2 columns across, I beg your pardon, and that's why it's returning 12. Third example is returning 16. So the offset is A2 minus 1, 3. So it's starting in cell A2, going to minus 1, so that's up 1 cell, and then 3 columns across, 1, 2, 3. So it's returning the value from cell D1, so it's returning 16. The fourth example, it's A1, 6, 0, so it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and no columns to the right. So it's actually off the array, so it's not actually returning anything because there's nothing in cell A7. Example 5 is A1, 0, 0, 2, 2. So again, A1, and it's not going any cells down or any cells to the right, but it is returning a 2 rows deep by 2 rows wide. So it will return 1, 2, 6, and 7. And here it's returned 1, 2, 6, and 7. So it's returned this full array here. And the last example here is sum offset A1, 0, 0, 2, 2. So we'll take the inner part first. So it's A1, it's not going anywhere, but it's 2 down, 2 across, and they're being summed. So it's 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 7 is 10, plus 6 is 16, and that's why it's returning 16. So they are a few examples of using the offset function and how it works. Now we'll have a look at a practical example. Here we have a formula that will calculate the average weekly number of cars past a point. So on the 1st of January 2,736 cars were counted, and on the 2nd January 2007, and so on. Now if we want to return the weekly average, we basically need the last 7 values, and as we add more values, the cells referenced will change. So with this cell, with this formula here, we will need to constantly update the range, and that's fine, that's updated now, but as more entries are added in, this will have to be adjusted manually. We can use the offset function to actually create a moving target updated dynamically. So we can type in offset, and the offset must start from cell B2 because we know that there is an entry there, comma, and then we want to use a function count A, and then the full range B2 colon B, which will cover all future entries into this column, no matter how many rows down they are. And we want to get to the last cell in the range and then go back 7 cells and go no cells to the right or to the left, and take in a range of row 7 deep and 1 wide. And what this will do, I'll just press return here, and this returns the last 7 numbers here. And if I add on another entry here, it actually updates accordingly, but this cell doesn't. And what we just need to wrap this formula in is an average. And there we have. And as we add entries, this formula updates, but this static formula doesn't. Thank you for watching.